Thank you, Ulas, for sharing your experience on successful implementation of intelligent automation in enterprises. I'm confident that our audience will find it noteworthy. In case anyone has questions, please write into the chat box and we will answer them online. To help you start and scale intelligent automation in your company, Datamatics has launched the world's largest repository of RPA use cases with more than 800 use cases across industries and functions. You can access the repository on our website datamatics.com or follow the link given in the chat box. Datamatics acquired its first intelligent automation customer in 2014, and since then we have worked with some of the leading global enterprises and still continue to work with them. We have invited some of our customers today to share their journey towards intelligent automation and how Datamatics Intelligent Automation suite of solutions including TruBot, TruCap Plus and TruAI helped them achieve it. I would like to invite Rajesh Agarwal, Senior Vice President and Head of RPA, to take us through their journey. In case anyone has any questions, please write into the chat box and we will answer them online. Rajesh, over to you.
Hi, we all are ready to hear some of the success stories of intelligent automation. Let me begin with 5 key steps to a successful implementation. First, picking the right process. Second, managing the people. Third, selecting the right vendor. Fourth, implementing the idea well. And fifth, measuring the performance to scale up. Our RPA product TruBot enjoys high customer review scores across several independent customer review platforms such as Gartner Peer Insights, G2 Crowd and Trust Radius, that too from a significant customer base. Now let us hear from some of our customers in their own words their success story. Ryder is an American transportation and logistic company. It is known for its fleet of commercial rental trucks owning almost 300,000 vehicles and specializes in fleet management, supply chain management and dedicated transportation management. They have 3 million transactions in a month with almost the annual revenue of $9 billion from their 50,000 customers. And we have today with us Mr. David Friedman, who is a Director and Head of Intelligent Automation COE. Datamatics has been working with them since 2017. Their large complicated processes like customer fuel billing, repair bills payments, billing of the leased vehicles, invoice to PO linking and contractual rates renewal were the part of automation. Their biggest expectation was to automate their core business processes and bring back some of the outsourced processes where they had constant challenges. They had to maintain the strict turnaround time, manage multiple system lookups and tedious calculations. That involved automating the work associated with 20 years old legacy systems and had their mainframe systems, AS400 and terminal screens, where the automation was the most difficult, and their success lies in buy-in from senior management, creating a formal plan, setting up the COE and instilling a proper governance structure.
Hi all, I'm David Friedman. I'm the head of the Intelligent Automation Center of Excellence at Ryder System. And my team and I are responsible for streamlining and simplifying business processes, improving our market responsiveness, and most importantly and most directly driving operational efficiency to support our growth. We have quite a lot of tools at our disposal, but we are focused on leaning and driving black belt type of improvements through Six Sigma, as well as delivering automation into Ryder on the part of the business users. We're one of the largest logistics companies in America. We provide fleet management, we have a supply chain division, and we have a dedicated transportation that we provide to over 50,000 customers across America, United Kingdom, and Mexico. You can imagine we have a large base of customers and vendors. We have hundreds of repair shops, hundreds of warehouses, and thousands of drivers and trucks all across the country. Multiple vendors across all these touch points interact with us, sending us bills, invoices, purchase orders, go back and forth. And as you can imagine, these are all in many different formats, which were very manual and high touch for us to process. So the business problem that we had to solve was reducing an elongated and costly payment cycle. All of our data had to be read and entered manually from different formats all across the end of our supply chain, and took a long time, and of course was prone to error. So we needed a faster and more accurate way to handle the receipt and payments of these types of bills and invoices. So after research and work and walking the process, my industrial engineers on my team really determined that we could automate the process once they had taken a lot of the variability out of the process prior to any technical solution. You know, as I mentioned, we have many tools at Ryder, and we analyzed and took a look at different RPA providers that we had and that are in the market. We also looked at in-house versus partner delivery and project management, and we eventually partnered with Datamatics to deliver this solution. Now, the main reason was really that other players, including an internal IT team, were unable to handle such a large volume of disparate bills and invoices, capturing all the data elements required to route and process these payments. You know, there are many large companies out there that would be really good at doing part of the end-to-end process, but Datamatics was most willing to look at the end-to-end result that we needed and kind of own the outcomes with us to solve our business problem. You know, we didn't want just a technical delivery, we wanted an outcome, and Datamatics was really willing to do that with us. We implemented with Datamatics their TruCap document processing solution, and then linked that in with our pre-existing experience with TruBot RPA to automate the overall process. So the bot automatically captures the data from incoming bills and enters them in the system for final processing. A big part of this is all the structuring of the input and the output. So determining elements like date, fuel cost, average vehicle mileage, relatively unique items to our business needs. But regardless of the format of the bill and the completeness of that bill, we would get what we could for each individual invoice that came through our desk. So this didn't take nearly as long as we had feared it would take. And by about the first 7 to 8 weeks after going live, we've automated about 80% of the process. So that's straight through processing measurement, not individual steps in the process. So that we have completeness checks and full automation on good 4/5 of everything, which exceeds our expectations. Our background with Datamatics, we've seen rapid improvement in the PAR process and the relationship. This is now completely automated, and we're making payments pretty much the same day when business needs dictate, the same day we receive the bill. So we're actually throttling back our payments, not based on business process, but on cash handling and things of that nature, which is a good problem to have. Often the tracking and handling of these took multiple days, and more than SLA was cost of hourly workers and contractors handling these one by one. As I started to mention before, Datamatics really acts as a key partner in our journey. They look to solve the business problem, not just provide a technical solution that may extract data or may provide some automation, but the item, and they bring different tools to bear to that end. They really work as part of an extended team of ours, right? We have some project-based work and some partner, full-time, year-in-year team members that are contractors, and they're very flexible and responsive in the way in which we need to make commercials work and to make different relationship contracts based on our business needs. Obviously we're in the US and they are often offshore, but we do notice that both teams are quite flexible in working together, and they do have quite a large presence in our time zones, and they're always really just a phone call, an email, or a WhatsApp message away. So they're really able to really help us scale, right? They don't just deliver a product, they learn our processes, they work with various multiple systems we have, some that are older than I am, they're part of the NASA moon launch type of era, and really that sets them apart, right? They're focused on working with us, figuring out the solution, and they don't fit their pre-existing work to our solution, right? They don't try to fit a round peg to a square hole. They get a team together, they dig in, they work with our industrial engineers, and they figure out what really needs to get done. And so that really helps quite a bit. So we look forward to continuing to work with Datamatics in solutioning our work, and with various different tool sets, with various different contractual methodologies, we feel that Datamatics can really be a valued partner going forward into our digital transformation journey. So that's just a quick snippet of one partner's experience with Datamatics on their intelligent automation platform. Over to you, Rajesh.
MullenLowe Lintas Group is a large global advertising, marketing and communication company. We have with us Mr. Pavin, who is the global CTO, sharing his experience with us. They are using our intelligent automation document processing software for almost 10 years now, and had selected this one against lot of overseas vendors. They preferred this software because of the intelligence and fuzzy logic, because then they could use it for unstructured inputs. The solution needed to scan through newspapers, both electronic and paper, for one of their processes. It had to extract all the related media clippings anywhere in the paper which were of their interest and of their clients based on the certain keywords. Then they have to highlight these articles and paste them on a canvas, emailing it to their CXO customers before the business starts at 9 a.m. So these customers of theirs were updated on the current happenings in their field. Our IDP solution enabled to do it with minimum efforts, higher accuracy, and within the strict turnaround time of 2 hours.
I'm Praveen Savant, Group CTO for MullenLowe Lintas Group. And I've been working with MullenLowe Lintas Group for past 12 years, working on the strategic IT roadmap for the Lowe Lintas and group companies. Now, Lintas, as most people would know, is the communications and the media major group in India and also globally. We are a multinational. So we manage a lot of global brands. We look at the positioning of a number of brands across horizon. And one of the key aspects of the brand management is also looking at the brand's reputation. And we have a very specialized division, which used to be called Lean Opinion. And it used to focus on the public relationships, or the PR as they call. It is now recently got rebranded as Lintas Live, as we continue to evolve, and it is being led very well by our famous business head, Mr. Amir Ismail. So Lintas Live, or the PR division as well, Lean Opinion, they had a very important task of managing a client's reputation, keeping track of the client's reputation, the public relationship, the public presence. And the most common media then time, about 10 years back, was newsprint media, and it still continues to be an important media. So there was a group of people who used to come early in the morning, say about 5 o'clock or so, and read all the content in the newspapers, the leading newspapers, English newspapers, from page 1, column 1 to page 32, column 8. And they would scan each and every line, each and every word, scan as in the read, and find out if there is any mention, positive, negative, made about the client. Now, as you could obviously make out, this is a very, very manual, tedious process. We're depending on a human ability and comfort in terms of catching all this, then manually cutting it and then sending it to client. So our business was very keen to make this process efficient, effective, and also much more client friendly, because it used to take number of hours to finish this task every day, given our large number of clients. So that's where we looked at the solutions. We looked at solutions across the globe. We looked at solutions in India. We looked at solutions across the globe, but there wasn't any custom-made or an off-the-shelf solution which was available. And that's when we met with Datamatics and Rajesh Agarwal and his team. So one good part with Datamatics Association in the whole journey has been that they never looked at this as a vendor-client association. They were more in the mode of partnership, because these kind of products or these kind of niche developments, they take a lot of iterative efforts. You learn along the way, just to even to get the error percentage acceptable, it's a tedious process because there could be false positives and false negatives when you are trying to use an AI system, an automation. So we traveled a journey together, and it's been a very, very productive journey mutually. Obviously, as we went along, the solution evolved from the physical space. We also enhanced the solution to cover the e-newspapers or the PDF, the online version of it, and so on and so forth. But throughout, I think we have always experienced a very, very positive a partnership approach, and also the skills, whether it is technical skills or the soft issues, in terms of managing the expectations, managing project. I think we were very satisfied with the way Datamatics team has come about. So I think we've enjoyed now about 10 to 12 years of association with them. Of course, business keeps evolving. Even the current the solution which we described, that business process itself had changed over the years. But given our experience and the positivity with Datamatics, we are hopeful that we will continue to have many more projects with Datamatics, and the relationship will only grow. Thank you so much, and over to you, Rajesh.
Adani Group is an Indian multinational conglomerate company having its presence in Australia, Singapore and Middle East. Its diversified businesses include resources, logistics, agribusiness and energy sectors. Their revenue is to the tune of $15 billion US, and they have almost 17,000 staff globally. Our TruBot RPA solution was customized for them and was deployed in Adani Shared Services Center. This solution is being used for automating their many finance processes in global trade finance like sales, purchase, expense modules in SAP. The volumes being managed with this automation are to the tune of 100,000 transactions annually. The major challenge they had was that the different modules of SAP were not talking to each other, and then they were supposed to connect with the disparate other systems as well. Our solution given to them addressed this challenge and became very scalable for them. We have Adani Group sharing their experiences with us.
Quickly introduce myself. I'm Nalin, and I will talk about my experience with Datamatics team when we implemented, the RPA automation few years back within Adani Group, the Adani Finance and Accounting Operations, which is the Adani Business Excellence team. And the journey goes back, let's say 8 to 9 years back, when this was a very novel concept, and very few people had attempted to look at RPA as a service automation opportunity. And in our first meeting with Rajesh from Datamatics, it was great exciting opportunity we could sense in this automation journey, and we said let's partner and go ahead with experimenting at least some of the areas where we had a lot of manual work, a lot of human errors happening in the transactions on a day-to-day basis within the finance and accounting world. With that background, we embarked on looking at what are the areas where we could work with Datamatics team on a priority basis and see quick wins. The focus was to really get results faster and a higher ROI. So I can talk about 2-3 use cases right now. The first one being the easiest one, rather, in the accounting world, is the bank reconciliation process. Now it's a daily process. We have transactions, debits, credits happening in the bank every day. It is an important control function within finance and accounting operations. So we had multiple bank statements at point in time coming to us from different banks on a daily basis, and we had a large amount of people involved in daily reconciling those and coming out with open item statement. Now this was a simple automation statements. We implemented the OCR technology, and the decision making rules were built in, and that could read what the debit credit transactions are, reconciled with the balances for those transactions in our books, which was on SAP, and then throw out the open items. It was a quick win, and we had great success with this automation. The second example I recall is around TDS reconciliation. This was a complex 3-way reconciliation. with our books, with the TDS payments, as well as with the government tax authority statements for 26 years. Now there are three multiple sources of data in different formats, with different timelines, and how do we merge and reconcile that data and throw out the exceptions from a tax return filing perspective. That was the key. And here also, I think a lot of manual activities which would go were completely automated, and we had good ROI where it was paid back within 6 months of time. And the third example, I really, was quite a big improvement was around the accounting for the investments. On a daily basis, the group would invest a lot of money into different mutual funds, equity, and you need to record the net asset value in your SAP ERP on a daily basis. And these statements were in different formats from different banks, different fund houses, and how do we get that statement download, read the data in those statements and update the NAV values in our ERP. So that was the third big success we had in the initial phase when we implemented, RPA along with Rajesh and the Datamatics team. That was early stage, and we took a leap of faith and really delivered significant value to us in that phase. And since then, it's been a non-stop journey on the RPA automation process. And there are a lot of intelligent analytics available now with TruBot. A lot of standard features are available which you can just plug and play. So there's some very exciting features. The product has evolved over time, and I really thank Rajesh and the entire team at Datamatics behind this. And I think the biggest piece of the engagement I've had with Datamatics is really the relationship value. And what I've seen is, the entire DNA we've had of innovation, right from Dr. Kanodia, who started this organization 3 to 4 decades ago, that still continues, and that is actually accelerated. And that we see as great value coming as a partner to us in our engagement. Largely, I think we've seen that translate into the solutioning. Coming out with Rajesh and team have always come out with innovative ideas of proactively solving our business problems, business processes in the most effective manner. So that DNA still is very strong, and we have seen great value of that coming into our relationship. The second part is really the partnership, which and the collaboration which Rajesh and team from Datamatics have shown. The team really, right from him and down to the execution team, go all out, to deliver value to us, without any constraint of resource or timelines. They will invest the best people and get the best outcome for us as a customer. That's a great value they bring to the table as a partner to the team, and I really thank the team for that. I've also had the opportunity to visit the Center for Datamatics at Nasik a few years back. And I must say it's been astonishing to see the capabilities built there, the large operations which happen there, both from technology, service. Everything is fantastically set up. And I would recommend anybody to visit that place and have a view of capabilities the team has built over years. So that really gives a lot of comfort to me as customer and partner for Datamatics to get more and more confidence in doing bigger and better things with this team. So I really love that experience a lot, and it still always remains fresh in my mind. Apart from that, there are many other things the Datamatics team brings to the table. Obviously, continuously innovating, and providing newer ideas and solutions to customers, and we see that happening in a lot of places. I think now they are there in the Gartner list as well. So that's a great win, and I thank Rajesh and team and the entire Datamatics team behind that for earning this laurel, which is not easy to get. So I have seen this journey, and as more and more digitization and digitalization happens, more and more value which Datamatics team will bring to the table to all its customers, existing customers, and future partners in the industry. And I wish everybody all the best for the future, and keep doing the great job. I think you have a great DNA, great heritage of innovation, great experience for customers in terms of collaboration and partnership. And you really give a lot of focus on generating ROI and value to the customer in whatever projects and assignments you've been working on and delivering. So that's fantastic. And over to you, Rajesh.
It was really good to hear from these industry leaders on their automation journey. This will surely help others to learn from their experiences. These are only some of the success stories, but we do have a repository of 800 plus use cases of automation which are listed on our website, which anyone can access to start or scale up their automation journey. We also have a ready-made booklet of banking processes which any other bank can use to automate their processes. Now to summarize, some of the key pointers for successful and scalable implementation of automation are: select right processes, product and the right vendor, of course. Then start small with simple but high impact cases. Deploy people with right mindset for automation. Have formal employee communication. And then finally scale it up with the creation of COE and proper measurements and governance in place. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for sharing your journey and success stories with all of us. I would like to remind the audience that Datamatics is offering an unconditional 30-day free trial of TruBot and TruCap Plus to all the attendees of the summit. You can register for it at the link given in the chat box or visit our website trubot.datamatics.com. Also, don't forget to visit the exhibit area, resource center and networking center to know more about the intelligent automation solution. Participate in polls appearing on the screen and let us know your opinion on the key trends in intelligent automation and on leaderboard points.